Hey everyone, this is episode 34 of the Everday Bow Hunter podcast. Once again, I got my brother Dan Zemer. I'm Mike Manley. And in today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about off-season prep stuff that we're doing, things you think about with the off-season that maybe, you just don't think about. It's time to take care of stuff that kind of went on in the season, the things that didn't work out the way they should, lessons you learned. Now it's time to kind of like back up, take a look at things you want to fix, and we like to tinker.
Yeah. For me, I'm definitely tinkering this year.
Yes. Yeah. And we had the Great American Outdoor Show that I went to last weekend. Show's great, as it always is. Had a really good time going through there, talked to a lot of people, and got to meet some new people too. So that's always a great experience. In fact, something I didn't even tell you, just going off the beaten path here, Dan. There's this company, and I feel bad that I can't think. Is it Ape Canyon? Not Ape Canyon. It might be that. But anyway, I feel bad that I said the name wrong if I did. There's a saddle hunting company out near Pittsburgh, Western PA. I think they actually said they're in like Butler. They might be in Butler County. And stopped by their stand there at the show, and they had, they're a climbing company. That's their focus. Is they've been a climbing company for years. They do the carabiners, the ropes,
okay.
The whole,
like rock climbing, all that stuff.
all that kind of stuff. Backcountry stuff.
Right.
So they are focused on backpackers, outdoor people, and stuff. And it was a natural progression for them because of the climbing
to get into
the saddle hunting stuff.
Yeah.
And so they had a bunch of saddles there that were really economical. The packages stuff were economical. There's a guy that does, I think it's JRE climbing, right? There's a guy that does all this one sticking and specialty climbs stuff, has a YouTube channel. He was there working with them on basically pitching their saddle systems and stuff. They had good packs for people that like the one stick and throw a lot of rope in their pouch and stuff like that. But really great to talk to and find out. I love to support small businesses. Yeah. And I'm going to be talking to them about possibly trying out one of their saddles this year. Even though I really like the ones I have, the Cruiser XC that I used 2 years ago.
Yeah. And what was the other one?
Great. The one I used this year was the Latitude, Latitude Maverick.
I don't know why I can't, for the life of me, remember the Latitude word.
Latitude Outdoors.
Yeah. Latitude.
Latitude Outdoors, and I stopped by their stand. They were with the profile platform that I also got from them this year and tested out. I liked having that combination for a single company.
Who's the company
really
liked that platform? Was it Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal was there. They really hadn't changed too much. Who really surprised me at this show with new stuff that I hadn't got my hands on before, and that was a company I kind of pushed to the side because their stuff has gotten fairly expensive, but it was nice price at the show, was Tethered. Okay. So Tethered had some platforms there that are like this, like carbon platforms. Yeah. That were just so ultra light.
Yeah, super thin too.
Oh my God.
I saw a video on them. Yeah.
They are really nice. And they, the videos that I've seen hadn't done them justice. Getting your hands on them obviously is a whole different deal. And I was like, wow, these new platforms they have are really, really nice.
Actually, I think I'm thinking of Arsenal is they came out with another one and they made them even thinner. And they're still stronger than everybody else. And even though they're thinner, it's like technology. Arsenal.
They were inundated. The thing that disappoints me about Arsenal is from last year to this year, their website and their program and stuff that's, has really not evolved.
I was going to say they haven't built it up.
They haven't evolved.
I got a funny story. Okay. So, how last year when we were there, we went by Lone Wolf and that climber or whatever it was like $1,000. Yeah. And I lit that guy up about it. And I was like, who the hell would buy that? You're ruining hunting. Here's the thing. All these companies want to get the younger generation involved and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then they want to make tree stands that are climbers that are $1,000. You're losing a whole populace of hunters. You're deterring. So it pissed me off. But anyway, So one of my coworkers, he comes back from the sportsman show.
And he bought one.
No, he's like, I've bought 2 lone wolf tree stands over my lifetime. And then I show up to that stand and I couldn't believe my eyes on that price. I said, well, didn't you see it last year? He's like, I had 2. I didn't feel like dealing with them. I already have 2. What do I care? He's like, he goes, man, I chewed that guy out. Who the hell do you guys think you are? Spending or charging people $1,000 for a freaking climber tree stand. I hope nobody buys them. He said, and I was like, you know what's funny is I said this pretty much the same thing to him last year. Now I'm real curious is how many of them are they really selling? I mean, they must be doing okay because they're still selling them. You know what I mean? But
they have the name, and a lot of people go for the name.
I just can't wrap my head around
their stands are ultra light.
I get it.
And really nice, but I'm not spending that kind of money.
I'm
not doing it because Novix, which is all American made too, which is a split off of Lone Wolf. They used to be the people that were left there and created their own company.
Yeah.
They're not going nuts on it like that.
Yeah.
They have affordable stands, right? That are, they're all a little bit pricey now because of, prices have gone up.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about that, Dan. You know what I got in an email? I think it's just yesterday. Might have been today. I got an email from Lone Wolf.
Did you delete it immediately?
Guess what it said? It was a letter to people that, on the Lone Wolf mailing list, obviously, that, hey, we've tried to keep our prices down.
No, they haven't.
For years. And we try to be as economical as possible, but we're sorry to tell you we're going to have to raise our prices. They didn't say what those prices are going to be. They just said they're going to be raising their prices.
Delete. That's it right there. It's like I get it. Things cost. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and bash them because I know they make a good product. I'm pissed off about the price.
Let's be real.
Because they're taking it. Okay, they're making it out of reach for guys like me.
Yes, it's not everyday bow hunter.
That's not everyday bow hunter type stuff. You're.
So one of the things about it is that I always say is right there. Everybody's trying to go is ultra light. You can only go so light and be safe, right?
Yeah.
Tell me realistically. What's the difference between 1 pound and 2 pounds? It's only a pound difference, right? So if you have like these platforms, right? The platform I have right now is like, 3-4 pounds, something like that. 4 pounds maybe. If I have a 5 pound platform, is that tearing me up?
I mean, where you're going to notice it is your bow.
If you're going,
wait, because of holding it out. You know what I mean? A heavier bow, you're going to notice that more than a platform or something
right.
You're carrying on your back.
If you're carrying it in, right, 1 pound or even 2 pounds is not going to break you.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the things out there. My point is this: most of the things out there, when you look at them,
not everybody's built like this, though.
But if you look at the difference, right, you're splitting hairs on poundage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to get it down as low as possible, I get it, whatever. I have a bad back.
Yeah.
I literally have disability from VA for my back, and I still carry my shit in, and I'm not worried about 1 or 2 pounds. I'd like to go a little lighter, and the profile platform was lighter for me. And saddle hunting has made things lighter for me, and that's helped out.
I think in that world, though, the race is to get to be the lightest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like maybe that shouldn't be the main focus. It should be, in my opinion, more of the selling point to get it to that demographic. Again, we're trying to get these younger guys out in the woods.
Yes.
Make it affordable, make it obtainable for the average dude.
Now, I think
not everybody's a professional hunter.
The Latitude Outdoor stuff that I hunted with this year, both of those, the saddle and the platform, were both under $200.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you go to Tethered and their stuff's a lot. They have stuff that's down there underneath $200 too that you can get. But their saddles are going higher and higher and higher. One of the things I like to say and compare it to, when I was in the Army and I was in Special Forces, I became a team sergeant of a scuba team.
Okay.
Right? I hated scuba.
Yeah, because you don't like water.
I don't like water. Right? So here I am, team sergeant of a scuba team. We never used it. right? We went to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah,
We're not doing a bunch of scuba in there. We took all our shit with us.
Can't swim in sand.
We took our scuba stuff with us, and there was a couple times that we were talking about using it,
like in the Tigris or something.
Yeah, well, that's some nasty stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to get in there.
But anyway, we didn't. Just like you know, you have a specialty, right? The stand that you hunt with, I don't care what it is, isn't killing the deer. The stand doesn't kill the deer. Just like scuba is just a method of getting somewhere, right? Or you jump out of a plane, it's a method to get there. It's not killing the enemy. It's just a method to get you there, right? Mm-hmm. The platform that you use, the stand you use, is just a method to get you to where you want to be hunting-wise. Yeah. It's not killing the deer. Yeah. So as much as we get fancy with that stuff and everything, the thing is, as a hunter, you got to take yourself back and say, okay, how is this helping me be more efficient hunter? Now, if it's getting you farther out there in the woods, because I'm taking lighter stuff and I can go farther, and I can take more, take more other stuff that I need to have with me. All those things are considerations.
Packing it on the e-bike, this, that, the other.
Whatever,
yeah.
All those things, efficiencies matter in that regard. But if you're not doing that, if you're not traveling far, if you're not doing all this stuff, do you need all this stuff, or is it just something to be cool?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So for me, the saddle hunting stuff has helped my back out. But that being said, I do plan on using my my Novix Hilo stand over here more this year and doing kind of a dual thing where I saddle hunt.
Like a little bit of a hybrid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. So Dan and I have now spent time on bow stuff. And we had talked in the last podcast about the fact that I was looking at a new bow because I have the Matthews Lift, 2024 Matthews Lift. I used this past season. I did not like it. Did not do well for me. It is a beautiful bow. We were just looking at it here before the podcast. It is a beautiful bow.
Side by side with?
It's right here, hanging right here in front of us with my new bow, which is the PSE Decree.
Yeah.
Right? An aluminum bow.
It's a sexy bow.
Yes.
I like it.
So it's got the Cryptek Skyfall camo on it, which I like. But the point is the draw on the Matthews, I didn't like. It has a hard back wall. Super fast bow, shoots great, but it has, on the draw, it's noisy. It has a thunk to it when you draw it. And that was pissing me off in the stand, right? Every time I drew, I had a thunk. And when you are in those ultra quiet environments, when a deer's 15 yards from you, that's not good. So fast forward, I went to the outdoor show and I test shot a bunch of bows. The bow that I shot that I would love to have, but I'm too cheap to buy, is the new Expedition. Oh my God, that Expedition. Those guys, after I shot it the first time, those guys said they wish they had a video of me, because this is what happened. I get up, I grab the bow, and I'm like, man, this thing's super light. I had their 31 and a half, right? And I drew it back and I go, holy shit. Right? and then I pull it up and I shoot it and I go, what the fuck? Right? and they go, that was awesome. We need to have a video of that. I said, this is bullshit right here. Yeah. This is a awesome.
That's too nice. Yeah. I want to suffer a little bit.
After what I drew and the feeling of the Matthews Lift compared to that, it's not a comparison. Yeah. If you get an opportunity to shoot it, shoot it. It is it was bow of the year this year.
I mean, that's like you shooting. It was like going from that to like my Elite.
Yes.
That smooth.
Sorry about the F-bomb.
Hey, it is what it is. Yeah. So you shot what? You shot the Expedition. You shot what? The Core SS.
Core SS.
Now I'm so curious about this because, again, I'm a fan. I like Bowtech a lot, and I'm surprised with the PSE over the Bowtech Core SS. I'm actually shocked.
It was a feel.
A feel
thing. It was a feel. The draw was beautiful
because they're very similar in weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a feel thing, a hand grip thing. I didn't like the hand grip.
Okay, it's deeper.
Yes.
It's deep. Yeah. Bowtech is a deeper in. Yeah. It is, but it like cradles your hand. So Bowtech.
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing.
I was so used to that Bowtech feel, and then when I went to the Elite, which is almost like a square, you know what I mean? It's like squared off, and it like if you like hold your hand like this, okay, it's a square. right? You see it?
Yeah.
It's almost like a perfect square right there. That's how the Elite is. It fits perfect. Where everything else is more contoured, which is kind of goes to that give right there. Anyway.
And I shot the Elite, what's it called? Artemis? Artist. The Elite Artist. And I'll tell you the thing that got me on the Elite Artist. It wasn't the draw. It wasn't, it felt like a rock in my hand. It felt heavy. And I picked up.
Which it's only 0.01 pounds heavier.
It's the weight distribution.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So I picked up the PSE Mach 30.
Which is carbon.
Which is carbon. And that is a beautiful bow. Oh,
they're neat looking.
They're neat looking. Mm-hmm. And I shot that and I loved it. And just like the Expedition, and just like the Hoyt RX-9 that I shot, every one of those were great. But what wasn't great was that I was unwilling to pay $2,000 for a bow. I went to the bow I got $100 off. It was $12.99. I got $100 off at the show. So it's an aluminum bow. It's not a carbon. Just like that lift is sitting over here. It's not a carbon bow.
Yeah.
But when I got it in my hand after shooting the Mach 30, I got it in my hand. I put it down and I picked up the Elite, and I was like, "Wow, that's just the grip on it." I liked instantly. Mm-hmm. Right. I sat there. I drew, and as soon as I drew, I was like, "That draw is awesome."
That you're talking with the PSE.
With the PSE Decree. Just like the Mach 30.
So you shot the Mach 30 and then you went to the Decree. And it was almost the same draw cycle.
The draw cycle on the Decree is actually
it's the same. It's the same cams, right?
Yeah, but the 30 versus the 31.5.
Okay.
The Decree that I have is a 31.5-inch bow. Mm-hmm. The Mach 30 obviously is a 30-inch bow. The draw on the Decree is better than the Mach 30. It's smoother.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. When those cams come over, it's just a little hump and you are soft back into your wall, right? Now, it's a soft landing and virtually no I didn't feel any vibration when I shot. And I felt it was like dead in the hand when you shoot it. And I was like, wow.
Now, are you doing the 90 or 80% let off?
Right now it's set to 80.
Okay.
Right? And it's the factory setting on it was 60 pounds. So I shot it at 60 pounds.
Well, that's the draw weight. I'm talking about your percent let off.
Percent let off is 80%.
80. You can go up to 90.
I can go up to 90%. Yeah.
That bow goes up to 80, right? Draw weight.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
PSE is known for
Actually,
that.
I'm lying. Is it right? It's right here. I have the actual thing sitting in front of me here. It doesn't say on this. I have to look. I don't want to lie to you. So anyway, it's got a good brace height on it. It's a forgiving bow. It is a bow that I think I can be more accurate with. Only time's going to tell, right? It's still early.
I mean, it's over 6-inch brace height. That's kind of long. But
yeah, that's good. That's
you want to right around 6.
So
but
it's
90% let off. Yeah.
Yeah. So really nice. I really like the feel of it, and I guess only time, like I said, only time's going to tell. So I put my my same Apex Covert Pro sight on it. The rest that I have on it is I got the Hamskea Everest sight, Rest. I'm sorry, I didn't get the Epilson or Epilson or whatever, however you freaking pronounce it. I didn't get that because I was once again cheap. They didn't this year. Last year, Lancaster Archery had 50. If you bought a bow, you got 50% off on accessories. They did not do that this year.
I'm surprised you didn't go back with a QAD that you went Hamskea.
The reason I went Hamskea was because I've watched a bunch of videos lately, and
you wanted that limb.
The limb, yeah. So I could do a little bit more maintenance on it myself because I'm not great with that stuff.
So if you like a QAD, when it goes back to your riser string, you actually have to put it in a bow press to split the string to get the knot in there.
This you do not.
You do not, right? Because it goes straight to the limb.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing with this is like, for instance, if you draw, right?
Yeah.
The QAD is going to lock back, right? Mm-hmm. And now you have to manually, if you don't shoot, You have to manually disengage and flip it back down. The Hamskea, you do not have to do that. It automatically, when you let down, because it's attached to your limb, it automatically drops back down.
Yeah, but mine does that, and I hate that.
No,
I want it. What I like about QAD is you can pre-shot, you can go flip that paddle, and it drops it up. So when you pull, it's already up. It's not going. And then your arrow, it could be moving. And when you go back down, it's staying up, and your arrow's not going down on the, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how mine does that?
Yes. Once again,
and that's the ripcord.
Only time will tell. Since I just got it.
Yeah.
Since I just got it. So we'll see. We'll see if I like it or not.
Right.
But anyway, it's another test item. Now you are testing something too here on your bow. You just got a new sight.
Like well, first and foremost, I'm going like kind of revamping my bow. I'm not with the limbs or cam. Okay, so last year shooting it, I don't know if it's my eyes or it was a stabilizer issue. So I had a 6-inch stabilizer, and when I'm holding,
so you say,
I'd be happy with 6. So I'm sitting there when I'm going to shoot, I can feel I get a little bit of bob and weave going on.
Yeah.
So I went and I got a new stabilizer. Now I'm out to 10-inch, and
which was what I have.
But I went heavy forward with added weight too on it. So I got, well, you can adjust that.
Yes.
And I have the whole set on there now. I mean, it adds a lot of weight to it. It really does. Like it, but
can feel that. Yeah.
But you do that and then you go draw, and I'm like as stable as can be. Now I just have to build up a little bit, get used to that extra, you know what I mean? Extra weight on. Yeah. But I feel like that showed up, and while I was rewatching the Eagles Super Bowl win, go Birds! Sorry, this evening here before I came over, I was playing with it, and so tomorrow my sight shows up, and it's the CBE Trek 3-pin slider. So what I love about the idea of this thing, we'll see how this goes. So the sight that I have on it now is a Trophy Ridge, but it's the, what do they call that? Vertical pins in it. So it's like a post pin. And so now your dots are like covered up by other posts, like your 30 or 40.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's in your line of vision, I feel.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Right. And I kind of got frustrated with that a little bit last year, like when you're trying to shoot your 30 and 40, which is more important. You need to see.
Because you're obscuring it.
You're obscuring your 30. You're farther away, you know, and that frustrated me. So this is your typical horizontal 3-pin, but it's a slider. So you sight it in at 20, you sight it in at 30, and then from 30, you jump back to 60. So you shoot. You kind of keep backing up, 5-10 yards till you get to 60, and you get that sight in. But you're marking that on your thing, and then you figure out, once you have your 30 and your 60,
you have your yardage tapes.
Then you have your yardage tape, and you figure that out, and you put that on there. Okay, so now you have your 20, 30, and then you go back out and you get your 40, right? So once you sight your 40 in, you have your 20, 30, 40, but now you can go 50, 60, 70, 80, and it actually goes to 110, which I probably won't be able to because I'm only drawing 60, and I'm running pretty heavy too, like 400 and whatever, what is that, 67 or something grains. So because I'm running a little bit heavier with 125s, I'm going to run out of space, and my fletchings will end up hitting, if I keep. So I don't need to shoot. There's no way I can even see to shoot 110 yards anyway. I'm not going to be able to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, what I love about it is on the slide, you actually have 2 pins on the slide. So, and then you have a dead stop. So something could be happening and you don't even have to look at it. You just turn it and know as soon as it stops that you're back at your 20.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But then you have 2 pins. Okay. So it's showing you where to go, and you can take it to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You see what I'm saying? Down to the single yardage. And I love that ability, because what's the point of a rangefinder? Oh, it's 27 yards and you're guessing between 20 and 30, right? So now you can kind of, if you have that time to dial it in, you can go 27 yards. It's coming through right at that 27-yard tree. That's actually, he's probably going to be in front of it or whatever. Go to 25, dial it in, get ready and go. You know what I mean? Things like that. So
if you have the time to do that, yeah.
If you have that time. A lot of times you don't, because we all know it happens like that. Anybody that's been in the woods, killed a deer, it happens like that. Yes. So at any rate,
you're drawing and shooting. And
yes, but I like the idea too. Especially what I really like is
nothing wrong with maximizing your opportunities.
Maximize your opportunities, but also for practicing and being able and having the ability to do that. I've never had that ability. It was either 20, 30, 40, 50. Back when I shot 5-pin up to 60 yards. You know what I mean? I've never had that ability to dial it into 25, 24, 23 yards and see that difference, you know? So I'm real excited about that. And I just got a wild boar 3D target too. Well, I said to him, aim small, miss small. I wanted a smaller target. I didn't want the full-size deer. I wanted something smaller to make it more of a challenge, you know, especially out at 30 and 40 yards. That would really hone in my skills. But so this year, I'm working on stability and changing my sight completely, which I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit of anxiety about it because, yeah, I had the post pins like that, but I was dead nuts with that thing. And you've seen me shoot with that bow. I'm freaking lethal with it. And now I'm changing up. Worst case scenario, I don't deal with the slider at all. I sight in 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, and I was
but I'm not utilizing the sight to its capabilities then.
So I was really inconsistent with that lift too. And I just don't know. It was a confidence thing. I didn't like that draw. Or
I think because when you get back, it wanted to jump out of your hands. It was a psychological thing and it made you unsettled. Yeah. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just never comfortable with that bow. I mean, I shot decent, but not great. And I had shot way better previously even with the Bear Alaskan I have sitting over there still, and my Hoyt Vector Turbo, I shot that great. So it's just a matter of.
It's kind of funny is I was never dead nuts like perfect with my Matthews Adrenaline. As soon as I moved to Bowtech, I was shooting just tacks.
Oh, and
that's where I was like,
you're really good with that Elite too.
And that's where I start. And the Elite also, it's like I started being able to Robin Hood arrows. I couldn't shoot at the same spot. Like I couldn't figure out what my group was because I was hitting the back and blowing arrows up, you know, and that's insane. Like I gotta admit, between the BTX, the Bowtech BTX, and that Elite is the best I've ever shot in my life. Those two bows are freaking incredible.
That's freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
So, my bow, I'm still going to go to 65 pounds. Okay. Right. Yep. It is so easy at 60 pounds. I mean, it is literally just like nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, well, 65 can't be that much different. That's what I shot with the Matthews, 65. So I'm going to go to 65 on that, get a feel for it. You know, if I need to adjust it, I will. But right now, that's the plan, to take it to 65. When I watched some videos on, I saw people pulling 70. Like, it was like, they were like, oh my God, this is easy. So I'm anxious to see what it feels like at 65.
Hey, I mean, the more you can get out of it, the better. I mean, what you can deal with.
But I also want to be comfortable in the freezing cold.
Yeah, that's a lot of it
drawing,
right there. Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm trying to and struggling with a shot in cold.
What's that guy's name from Lancaster Archery? PJ?
Yeah, PJ.
Yeah. PJ kind of brought up that good point. I think I shared that video with you where he was talking about the 90% let off. And a lot of guys don't do it because you lose some speed and stuff like that. But when you're a saddle hunter or like, let's say a ground hunter that's in a weird, awkward position, you know, to shoot, that 90% comes in very handy because you can hold it much longer that you need to, or at a weird angle, you can hold it much longer. I think I'm willing to sacrifice speed for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So yeah, it's something to think about. Yeah, because what am I shooting at? 30 yards or less.
Yeah, you're shooting heavy as it is. I mean, worst case scenario, you lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
You go a little bit lighter and go back to like 100. You're shooting 150 green. Go back to 125s, like shoot a little bit lighter and give yourself a little bit of forgiveness and grace here, man. And you know, it's all about maximizing the opportunity when it happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think I'm going to test that stuff out.
Yeah,
a lot.
That's what's fun.
And one of the next purchases I'm looking at possibly doing is a chronograph, because I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm looking at. Now, what I've been doing here in the off season is a bunch of stupid testing. I mean, I'm getting really stupid. And what I mean about stupid is I'm getting technical. I have, sitting right here behind the camera, I have 2 mannequins sitting. I have heating pads.
He's not lying to you.
I have temperature probes. I'm doing...
Oh, he's got probes. Sorry.
I'm doing...
mannequins and probes, and this is not going well.
Yes. Next thing you know, one of them's name's Jimmy, the other name's Jack. Neither of them like each other. But I'm trying to get geeked out on the content that I provide and do a little bit more, because one of the things that I've found out is in testing a bunch of gear, especially when you get a bunch of gear that's kind of similar, is the question that I get all the time is X jacket or X pants or whatever better than Z jacket or pants, right? And sometimes, you go out with different base layers on, you have different temperatures. It's, and one day it feels like it did great, the next day it's not so great. And I want to be as, objective as possible and say, okay, yeah, this felt great to me and it felt warmer than this other jacket, but sometimes you have to wear them so many times against each other to do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that one-on-one over and over again.
Yeah.
And so it's something I wanted to do some get down in the weeds a little bit. I've looked at insulation types, geeked out on that, on the different insulation types. And what's really opened my eyes in that regard is how much some companies are overcharging you compared to other companies that are giving you more of high quality insulation. So example, you have company A, and they're giving you the mid-range insulation, but they're making you pay a premium price, whereas another company has a higher level insulation, is charging you half the price of the other company. And you're saying to yourself, well, I'm buying big name brand company because it's big name brand company.
Yeah.
And you could be buying this other item and have twice the performance and save a lot of money.
Yeah. I was just watching MFJJ and McDonald. What's his name? Not Chris McDonald. Anyway, and they're sitting there drinking 40s and talking about that UltraView site and this and that. And I guess MFJJ got gifted the Sitka jacket, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like an everyday jacket versus, it wasn't camo, solid color. And he's like, man, it was McDonald's, like, every time I see you wearing this thing, blah, blah. And they were talking about this, and he just comes out and he's like, I know a bitch about price. He's like, but Sitka, and it's so funny because I said this and everybody on here can vouch for this. He like straight up goes, it just fits different. It just, there's nothing like the way Sitka fits. But anyway,
you are getting
beating the dead horse.
You know what? You are getting a quality product.
Yeah, you are.
You are getting a quality product. There's no doubt about it.
Well, they were bitching. He was bitching. MFJJ was bitching about KUIU because it's direct to consumer versus giving it to a dealer to get rid of. So he's like, you're taking money out of my pocket. And he's like, I get what they're doing. He's like, but I'm losing business because of KUIU, and I was like, okay, I didn't even think of it like that. And I was like, oh, I kind of like KUIU more now because it is direct to consumer. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I really like MFJJ. I don't want to take the money out of his pocket. I was so conflicted. I was like, dude, what am I supposed to believe and feel anymore?
I got my hands on that at the outdoor show, the KUIU proximity stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And that feels to me to be in line with like the Fanatic, but I'm not sure. I'd have to get out and test it, obviously.
Yeah.
To see if it's warmer. The things that surprised me recently in testing is how much Numa has jumped the shark on quality.
What do you mean by jump the shark? Like
That new
moved
stuff.
up?
That,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
That new stuff that they have, their High Point and the Ventus that I've tried this season, have blown me away with how much they've really gone.
What's the name of the stuff that you had me try? The real heavyweight stuff.
The High Point.
The High Point. I mean, that stuff's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
quality of it.
The High Point is great. The Ventus competes. The High Point's above the Fanatic, and the Ventus is below it. But the Ventus is like creeping right on the edge of it, and it's so much thinner, and not as It's great for bow hunting. When I had it out hunting with it, I was like, wow, this stuff is really good. I'm really impressed.
Kind of want to jump behind that camera and like pan over to this, because everybody always sees us like looking over. Like one of these days, I'm just gonna run over and grab that camera and pan over so they can see. It's
kind of like an organized mess, more of a mess than organized. But
it's like a mini Cabela's.
I have a stack of stuff over here. I got stuff on hangers like mad over here, and then I just have a massive pile right here of the stuff that I was doing, because I was doing a video today on different insulation types because of I'm geeking out on it.
Speaking of clothes, hunting clothes. So I did get some King's Camo merino wool. I think it's 150 bottoms, and it was Midway USA 100 top, and it's for early season. Be able to sweat it out and go. But the Midway USA stuff, it feels rough. And boy, that King's Camo is nice. I really like the bottoms a lot. But I'm getting ready.
That's the one thing about merino.
Yeah.
Not all merino is created equal.
And you said that to me, and I went, just buying two different ones in that, I was like, oh yeah, I see it now. But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to here.
And
like
merino,
this week coming up, I'm going to be getting some 260 stuff.
Oh, yes.
And I'm looking forward to that, pulling the trigger on that. And the other thing is back to the bow, I have it in my head, and eBay's like, you could find really good deals on QAD rests. And it's like, I kind of want to go back to a QAD.
If you don't know it, if you want to save money, talk about everyday bow hunter stuff, right? If you want to save money, eBay for archery stuff.
I never buy stuff at full price.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of last year's stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You can get it cheap. If you want to buy cold weather gear like Dan's talking about right now, we are kind of missing the hot time right now, because Christmas time, Black Friday, and then it's like 2 weeks after Christmas, it's like hot and heavy on. They're trying to sell out of the.
I missed it, because like if you go on to like
Huntworth is closing out they're like up to 50% off sales.
Yeah, but you start going on, and anything that's a large or an extra large is sold out already. Like that's how fast. Yeah. That's what I mean. When we say you're going to miss the sales, like you're going to see the sales still there, but have fun finding something in your size. It's like everything from like large up to 2X is gone. Anything that's left is medium and small, and the only thing small. Never mind.
Even Sika was doing sales on the Fanatic stuff down to like $375, which is sell for $460, which is crazy. But I mean, the Ozio had. If you're on their mailing list, get on Ozio's mail. If you like Ozio stuff, get on their mailing list, because they had up to 40% off for subscribers. You had a special code for subscribers only, 40% off for the longest time through like January.
Yeah.
So that's a time of year to really get your stuff. I think the next time that's really hot and heavy is right after Turkey in like June.
Yeah.
You get a lot of sales in June too.
I did almost.
The worst time to buy the stuff is when you need it right then, because that's when they're going to have the prices the highest, I think.
Did almost through a sale almost buy Drake waterfowl. They have a camo line in their whitetail line that kind of looks like bottomland, like the tree bark. It's similar. And it's dark, and that, like me hunting off the ground, I kind of want. I've been thinking about this, and I'm like, all right, so I have the subalpine. Yeah, I have the subalpine, right? Optifade. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine for early season when things are still green. And then you go into the fall, and that's where I love the Huntworth disruption. I'm like, but really, that has lighter tones in it too. I want to go darker. Like I want to go like if I'm going to be like lower, a deer's going to be looking down at me in my direction. Mm-hmm. So I kind of need the cover of the earth's floor and tree background versus I'm in the shadows. So I think I want to go like that darker tone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The one thing, it depends on where you hunt. Like what you're saying, you're up against a tree. You're using that as natural camouflage to blend in with
dark to dark, right?
Dark.
Yeah.
It's that contrast can get you when you're like in the open, right? Because deer can see contrast very well. Which when I say contrast, I mean something dark
lighter
against
tones.
something light.
Right.
And that's when you stand out a lot. So it's important. I think the Bow Troll once again sent me a video about a guy talking about camo and contrast, and he was doing distance shots with a camera, and showing him in different camouflage at distance. The Code of Silence camo and Natural Gear camo, man, they did really well on that. Okay. As far as how they look to human eye. And
we all know we're not deer. So.
Yeah. So, but the deer who really sees like shit, can, possibly get away with a lot, depending on, the more you blend it. I guess the number one thing is the more you blend in with your environment, and you're talking about doing that.
Yeah.
The more you blend it with your environment, the better, right? Don't worry about how fancy the camo looks. Worry about the environment you're hunting in.
Tell you what, I really dig, like, okay, so guys at work have some Drake waterfowl stuff, the whitetail line. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's some really nice stuff. Like, you should like reach out to them, try and check some stuff out. Maybe it's really well thought out. Like when I'm saying well thought out, like kind of like Sika is, the way different pockets are, or the way different things. It's very well thought out. It's hunters creating this stuff. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, that guy thought about that. You know what I mean? Like he was in the woods, he knew. You know what I mean?
That's what gets me about Tidewee. It's a Chinese company, but all this stuff is made overseas anyway. But it's how much thought they're putting into their gear now, which years ago, Tidewee
keyword is now.
Yeah. Years ago, Tidewee was like
Brand X. Yeah.
Like Brand X.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, the quality of their stuff is just
gotten better.
Way better.
That blind, that 180 blind, that thing's badass. Like the material, everything, it's very well made.
Yeah.
Like,
this turkey vest I'm sitting over here, I'm like, wow, these things are great.
Even the heated vest, that's very well made.
Yeah, the heated, their quiet stuff, it's Silent Tech or whatever they called it. That thing is dead quiet.
And the Tidewee boots.
They're fantastic.
I love them. I got a guy at work to buy them. I was like, hey man, they're less than $100. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, $79.99.
I'm talking about value proposition.
Yeah.
The Tidewee boots.
And they're so damn comfortable.
Dan tried them, loved them. My dad has them. I have them. My son has them.
Like I said in the video, I was like, I can't believe rubber boots could be that comfortable. And I was like, who would have thought Tidewee?
I know.
Like I have been for 10 plus years, diehard lacrosse fan. I got into the Alpha Burley Pros of lacrosse, never looked back, best boot on the planet, blah, 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 blah. And then I put these freaking $80 Tidewees on. I'm like, I was like, what? Why am I spending $250 freaking dollars? Like, what is wrong with me? I love the Tidewee.
There's no sense in doing it if you can get good stuff. I was at I'd never been there. I went to an Academy Sports and Outdoors. They're opening one up down the street here.
I did not.
Next to Walmart here in York, Pennsylvania.
What is this Academy? What is it?
Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Never even heard of it.
Right. So they have I guess it's like a brand of theirs or something.
Where they got like Frisbee golf and stuff like that.
No,
it was a joke.
It's like a Dick's Sporting Goods used to be they actually have guns and stuff still.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have all kinds of sports stuff. I mean, different sports
Dick.
and everything.
Sorry.
Before Dick's Sporting Goods went
Sporting Gourds.
Sporting Gourds, yeah. Dick's Sporting Goods went against hunters and took all their hunting stuff.
So I'm actually drinking beer this time, and my jokes still suck.
Yes.
So it wasn't the cream soda.
I'm drinking water trying to keep you in line.
No, I'm going on 3 hours of sleep. Again, my Philadelphia Eagles just curb stomped the Kansas City Chiefs last night. And I ended up staying. I was telling somebody, I forget. I was like, dude. After the game got over pretty early, actually, because they chewed up clock, And I got home. You'd think I could go right to bed, and I was sober. Like I didn't even have one beer. because I was driving from, pretty far distance to get, home. And I get home. Now I'm watching post-game crap, and then I'm sitting there watching highlights. And then I excitingly tossed and turned for a while. I couldn't go to, like, next thing I know, I look up and it's like 2:30 in the freaking morning. And I'm like, Jesus, Dan, come on. I had to be up at 5. It's just a nightmare.
So being a Pennsylvania team, I rooted for the Eagles, of course. I like the Eagles.
You should, and you will.
But I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Hey, man, it's a Pennsylvania pride thing.
Yes.
If the Steelers were in it, I'd 100% root for them. Like, I am all about Pennsylvania pride.
And I'm, big Penn State fan.
Yeah.
So.
And, hey, Saquon, Johan Dotson.
That was great.
Yeah.
It was great to see.
Like, that guy barely caught a pass all season long. And
in the playoffs,
he had two for like 40-something. Yeah, like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Almost scored that touchdown.
Yes, I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
But, yeah, man, the biggest thing for me is, like, back in 17 when they won it, it was like I kind of had this like weird, like, as an Eagles fan, you wouldn't understand if you're not one. We're kind of tainted. We're scarred for life type deal. And we finally won one. Like the whole around here it was like, how many rings you got? It was like for the longest time it was a goose egg. And then we got the one. It was like, okay, it happened once in my life. It's never going to happen again.
Nick Foles, that was a magical game.
It was like, and so last night it happened again, and I was like, what kind of weird alternate universe am I living in? Like, it's just weird. Like, never thought I'd feel this.
And my Steelers have been on a downward cycle here ever since Roethlisberger left.
And nobody, like, everybody hates Eagles fans. Mm-hmm. I'll just let you know. We don't care. Nobody likes us, and we don't care.
Yes, I don't like them.
We don't really care. I don't invest much into caring what people think about that.
Back to the Academy Sports Network.
I'm sorry. Eagles. Go Birds.
Well,
I told you I was going to be insufferable today.
They have a brand called Magellan. Is it Magellan?
Why does that sound familiar?
I think it's Magellan, hunting clothes brand.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this.
They are really... I put my hands on a bunch of them when I went there, and I was not impressed with it. Their boots, their rubber boots they have.
That's what it is, the boots. Magellan boots.
Are very nice. I was, I tried one pair on, and they felt really good. They're price-wise, they were comparable to... and
you said that's their line, though.
I think it's a
kind of like Redhead is for Bass Pro.
I have not seen them anywhere else other than there, but that doesn't mean that they're not. But anyway, they have Magellan there. They have... of course, it depends on the store you go into. Online, they don't have a ton of hunting stuff. Some places have Sitka stuff in it, right? Some places just have the Magellan stuff in it. It's just a matter of the store you go into, I guess. But anyway, that's opening up down the street here. So anxious to see what that's like inside. Because we lost Dick's Sporting Goods here. Was a place I used to go to get archery stuff if I needed something. And that's gone now. They don't do any hunting stuff. They cleared it all out.
Yeah, which is BS, but whatever.
Whatever. They can do their deal.
They can do whatever they want to do. And so when's this place going to open up? I'm curious because if there's like a grand opening, they have sales on pistols or something, I might just go buy a new gun.
It's going to be any time.
There's got to be something in there I can't live without.
I have to look it up. It's got to be any time now.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty much
all you have?
All I have.
So the next episode will be another giveaway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And, so it's not going to be in this next giveaway. It'll be in the giveaway after that. But I had talked to Moultrie, and Moultrie was nice enough to send me, where is it? Edge 2 camera. And we'll be giving this thing away. Right. So.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thanks, Moultrie.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with their marketing team, and I said, hey, they said, what kind of video content you like to do? I said, I like to do some video content where I give away one of your cameras and to one of our subscribers. And they were like, okay. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Go Moultrie.
Anytime I can do that, and I'm going to try to do that with a bunch of other different brands that I work with or attempt to work with. Yeah. So we'll continue to work towards that.
Dude, that's an awesome gift. Yeah.
Get you give away a free Edge 2 trail camera. So
did you get the software yet or whatever for the randomization, however you would say that? To be able to pick who gets it.
Oh, yes, I have the software.
I didn't know how to say it.
I have the software. I just want to make sure we have enough time to get things going before I just do the giveaway for the camera. So give me some time to do that. And then the next show, there's an individual that's contributed quite a bit that I think we'll do a giveaway for, and send him a Everyday Bow Hunter t-shirt too.
Yeah, the Bow Troll.
We just said it, the Bow Troll. There you go, guy. You heard it in advance. So next episode, we're going to tell you that you're getting a t-shirt.
Yeah, I wonder if Mark got his t-shirt yet.
I have not heard. Mark, if you're listening, tell us if you got it. They've been notoriously slow. Spring is who I do my shirts through, and they've been notoriously slow. So let me know. And
hopefully you get it before Spring Gobbler at this rate.
Anyway, so there you got it. I think I'd time to wrap it up. Thanks once again. Glad to have you guys on. It's great to, we keep getting more and more subscribers all the time, and appreciate all the feedback that we get from you. It is very well added. We enjoy responding. So keep up with the comments. Let us know what you think. Tell us in the comments what if you're on YouTube, even in Spotify, they have comments. Go in there. Tell us the bow you're shooting. Tell us the stuff you're putting on that bow for this year, what your sights are and your setups. You'd love to see some of that stuff and have a great conversation about that stuff.
Yeah, and if this is right now is the time of the year. If you're going to make changes to your bow, make changes to your shooting, now's the time. Make changes to your arrows. That way you get shooting, get ready, get going. Yep.
Once I get my bow tuned up here, going down to Lancaster Archery and do some of that. Once I get it all tuned up, then it's on to making sure my arrows are set up for that.
Absolutely.
Right. And I got a fletching jig over here that I'm anxious to get started with.
I'm going to go to Extreme Archery and get them to help me with my sight for the third axis and stuff like that. I want it perfect. You know what I mean? So
once again, thanks everyone. And I guess until then, we'll see you next time.
See you at 35.
Hey, this is Mike once again. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you want even more content from the Everyday Bow Hunter, I invite you to go over to everydaybowhunter.com or archeryhunting.com. It's the same website for the Everyday Bow Hunter. In addition, if you haven't subscribed, go to our YouTube channel. We have a lot more than the podcast there. Got more video coming every day, a lot more content. In addition, if you go over on your podcast channels, if you're already there, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, please give us a 5-star review. Give us a follow. We really appreciate it. In addition, if you see an Everyday Bow Hunter shirt like this, go ahead, go to the website, go to YouTube, click on it, buy one of our shirts. Every little bit helps. We're not sponsored by anybody. In addition, in our descriptions and our show notes, we highlight products that we use and buy that we love. Now, every time you click on one of those links, we get a small commission. It really helps us out. Like I said, we're not sponsored by anyone. You're our sponsor. So with your support, we can make this channel even better. I appreciate it. And until then, I will see you next time.